it's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my very, very late review of The Never Mets. We are back with a brand new review, and let's get into it. So they start this episode off with the continuation of Clay and Tati leaving, goodbye, sayonara, and we're down to 5 couples. Jay and Cinco and Charlie were rating who are the next couples to go. How do we rank them from 1 to 5? Jay and Cinco were at the top. Jared and Charlie were second, don't know why. Brandon and Kiki were third. Alexis and Chris was fourth. And Ty and Britt was fifth. To be honest, though, we can get rid of 4 and 5. And we can also get rid of number 2, Jared and Charlie, because y'all not going to last. But moving on. Cinco asked Ty, how did his day go with Britt? He said, we went to my crib. I cooked their favorite foods, crab legs. I added some lobster tails. We had great conversations. In his confessional, he believes that they are making strides of moving forward and that they can make it through whatever. Back outside, here go Jared and Charlie making their rounds, believing that Jared is an in-house therapist, thinking that he can tell everybody else about how they are managing their relationships when he's not even managing his. Being messy, of course. He says to Britt, he asks Britt, how does she feel about Ty? She said they had a great time. He was listening to their conversations. He put in a good effort. And then Jared says, I can see that that man really likes you. I can also see that you love his personality. But I also know you're not attracted to him. I mean, Jared's not wrong. Okay, he's just super bold with saying it out loud in front of her. But Britt, you have made a lot of excuses as to why you really don't want to make it work with Ty, but you just want to have conversations, but yet you still don't make any effort to figure it out. So she says it's all about the mental stimulation and that she feels like Ty gives her friend vibes. But is it just him, or is it because he's not what you're used to, or he's not what you are attracted to? Because you was all up on Cinco a couple of episodes ago. You give all the other men attention versus the guy you came on the scene with. So, again, she's talking about wanting to have a conversation with Ty about moving forward to see what their future looks like. But it sounds to me like, Britt, you don't want a future with Ty. When Kiki asked you about going to the boom boom room, you said that's never going to happen. You don't even want to kiss the man, let alone give any type of inkling you want any affection from him, but you want him to wait on you hand and foot. So I don't understand that. Jared says, I can recognize his love language, which is physical touch and acts of service, but I can see you're not trying to give that to him. Because she wants to excuse the fact that's all about how she feels on the inside, that mental stimulation. Listen, don't get me wrong. Mental stimulation as well as having a physical attraction to somebody does have to go hand in hand, but I feel like Britt is only concerned about how it makes her feel versus how she's expressing it. Or she's stuck on the physical attraction of it, like it's going to lead towards sex, when that's not the case. You can have the desire of wanting to be around somebody, hold their hand, cuddle, sit next to them. You don't want to do none of that with Ty. Your mind jumps from sex. Now, I don't think you understand what it means to have an attraction to somebody or develop that natural chemistry without it leading to sex. I don't think she can see that with Ty, and I don't think she wants to see that with Ty. And she talks about his personality, how he's loud. He's very outgoing. He's a jokester. Okay. He has not changed the way he's been since you guys were online. He is the same way. He wants attention. He's a jokester. He loves taking care of everybody, making sure everybody's good. You just don't like it. Charlie says, I think that it's just too much for her. She finds his personality too charismatic, too goofy, but she's just not saying it. No, she's not. I understand that it might have been annoying at first, but I feel like Ty has done his part on putting effort into making it right, and you've just been complaining about what he's continuously doing. Britt, you don't want this man, and you need to just let him know, and so you can leave. Moving on. It is the next day. Jared is playing pool with the fellas. He talks about how he has to let Charlie know about his sister coming, and that there are some things about her that his sister doesn't know. His sister knows who Charlie is. She knows who Charlie looks like. But as far as her having additional children, that's the one thing he has not told his sister about. And he says his sister's his best friend, and she's been there through everything, but she doesn't have a filter. So he prolonged this conversation. And Chris tells him, go ahead and get it over with now, so that way it doesn't be a tense moment later. Too late. He takes Charlie outside. They also talk about the game they played before, the game he wanted to play, about how would you feel if you was to decide to leave with your partner right at this moment. And he wrote fuck no on his card. Once he says that to her, she remembered that in the kitchen he told her yes. He only did it because he was pretty much feeling petty about the news she dropped of having additional children and how it changed how their future would be like. Her confessional, she's very angry. She's disappointed. Jared tells her he thought that it would have been the opportunity for her to move out to South Carolina with her and her one child, but then when she revealed having a newborn, also additional children, it changed how he didn't want to fight for the relationship. He just wanted to use his time to have fun. And that's when Charlie added on to it by saying, you wanted to drag me along? He said pretty much, yeah. And he didn't feel no type of way about relaying this information. He was so cold, so nonchalant. He had no emotions behind nothing, which is very scary. And it's like, you went through all of the song and dance with her, knowing that you said one thing to her, one thing to the confessional, that you really did not want to have this relationship. You just wanted to string her along to fuck with her, and that's it, that's all. Because he did not change his mind about not wanting to have this big blended family. So right here is where Charlie feels like I wasted my time, and you did. But at the same time, though, Charlie, I don't feel bad for you, because I don't see how you thought this man would have understood why you hid your additional children, along with you having a newborn baby. I don't see how you would think he would be cool with it, but let's not get it twisted. Jared hid a 6-month-old from you too. So I don't find him trustworthy than I find you, but you're the mom. You have way more of a responsibility to your kids, and the way you hid them for the sake of you thinking that this man was going to be happy to be with you, no ma'am. So he tells her about his sister's coming, how his sister knows everything else but her having additional children. And to me, when he said that my sister will definitely feel like I don't have the time to raise kids that are not mine, I feel like that is him saying it, but he wants to use that. This is what his sister will say. And she admitted that this is why it took so long for them to meet, because what man would want to be with her before kids? She never likes to hear that type of conversation, so she never brought it up. That was your choice, Charlie. And I don't see why you would think you can have your cake and eat it too and not reveal you got 4 kids. Why would you want to lie and say you only had 1? Because you were afraid of a man rejecting you for having 4 kids? Listen, that's the trick of the trade, okay? You come with a package deal, Charlie. You should never want to hide your kids for any reason whatsoever, especially for a man, okay? Now, she did say in her interview, I've never asked him to help raise my kids. I've never asked him to put any money towards helping me with my kids. I just wanted him to be a part of my life. That's not going to work if he don't want to be with your kids. If he doesn't want to be there for your kids, then he doesn't need to be the man for you. Like, first of all, you needed to let go of the rejection that no man's going to want to be with you because you have 4 kids. Let's not get it twisted. There's a double standard for men expected from women to accept that they have multiple kids by multiple women. Moving on from there. She says she felt like her time was wasted. She feels embarrassed and she feels disrespected, as you should. So she asks him, does he want to be with her? I don't know why you even asked that after he just told you he didn't want to be with you when he did that game by saying fuck no. But he said in a perfect world, which is a bullshit reason, and it's code for never gonna happen. I don't see us being together. I cannot get over the fact you have multiple kids, even though he comes with 2 kids, and he's not ready to be a part of that type of family. He is not ready to take on that type of responsibility. He does not want that. That's not how he sees his future. So she walks away. Britt finds her, sees her crying. She tells her about Jared wrote fuck no on that game they played about if we're going to leave this experience with our partners. And in a way, he kind of told her he's not going to be in a position of raising kids that isn't his, and that he was just enjoying his time, having some fun. And Britt tells her that's not cool. He should have told you that initially, right after you guys revealed your secrets. He should not have played along with you and believing he wants this relationship. And then you guys have also gotten closer. You guys have also had sex. So this isn't cool at all. So Charlie said, I'm not sure if he even likes me. No, Britt tells her he likes you. He doesn't want to be with you. Britt wasn't wrong. He can like you, but he doesn't want to be with you. He can enjoy your company, enjoy how much fun you are, but he doesn't see a future with you, which is fucked up. And that is a waste of time. And too much, too much. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, though, Charlie, this is what you get when you did not put your priorities where they should have been. You should not have left your newborn baby, who you are still breastfeeding, to see if this man wants to be with you. The desperation was crazy at its finest for what you did. So moving on, we got Chris and Alexis. He decided to have a therapy session with Dr. Allen because he heard from all the guys that it actually helped them. So he mentions their problem, and their problem is Alexis is controlling, right? But he didn't give off a clear explanation as to what has she's done has been controlling, because it just went from him talking about his past trauma of having multiple step parents who took charge of things. He didn't like that as he was growing up. He mentioned when he was in the 9th grade, he got his own apartment. Don't know how that happened because his father was so busy. He wasn't around as much. And I'm still lost and confused about what it is she's done that's controlling, because she did recognize that she can be assertive, she can be dominant, but she's still lost about what is it that is seen as control. Then he talks about her wanting to do his laundry. He didn't like that she offered to do his laundry. I'm like, what? I don't understand. I don't get it. Then Dr. Allen mentioned the game that they played about, would you leave with your partner right this minute after this experience? And he wrote, hell no, about not wanting to stay in this process with her. So, of course, he had to clean it up multiple times by saying, in that moment. That's what I was thinking. I thought it was a long-term question. So I wrote, hell no, in that moment. And it's like he was using too many excuses because he does not want to be with her. He does not believe he needs to be with her. So because he felt like in that moment, that's how I felt. But I don't feel like I'm in that space right now. No, you're still in that space though, Chris, because you have been complaining every single thing that Alexis has done since the beginning. Don't get it twisted. In the beginning, when it came down to the painting activity where she wasn't asking for permission, I can see how that would turn you off. But later down the line, I didn't see anything else that Alexis did that was that bad. It's been you complaining about every single thing she did that was such out of nowhere. It was messy. I can't handle a woman like that. You wanted to use that to berate her, to scold her, for her to be the woman you would expect to like. And when your friends came, you told your friend if she was more submissive, you would like her, especially with the age difference. You told her friend if she wanted to get back into fitness, I would actually consider being with her. Like, you had all these different excuses and expectations out of her changing. I have not seen anything you have recognized within yourself that you needed to change. But we all know you don't want to be with Alexis. You got somebody else waiting outside of this experiment. You only want to be on TV. That's it. That's all. So Jared's sister Jewel comes by, as well as Charlie's best friend Sabrina. He misses his sister. He says she gives the best advice. And this experience he's had with Charlie has been very interesting. He tells her about the news of his newborn, and also Charlie letting him know she has 3 kids, because he thought it was just the one daughter that was older, but it's the newborn and 2 additional children. So his sister was completely shocked about hearing this news, and Charlie tells her best friend the same news. They both came into the situation with a brand new baby, and the best friend was like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, how do y'all stay in a online relationship for 4 years, but y'all still went out and had babies with other people and believe y'all can come into the situation believing y'all gonna have a happy relationship? Now she's saying that even though I'm the worst because I dropped 3 kids he wasn't aware of, even though he dropped a newborn on me as well, but I have it most because I had 3 kids already in the picture and I just never told him. Now I have to agree. While Charlie, you do carry most of the blame, because why would you hide 3 kids? But Jared, you're not out of the woodworks of this yet. You did hide a brand new baby too. So he said when the news came out, they were still in La La Land. But he came down from La La Land after everything. And he needs to look at the fact he was still leading her on after the reveal of their news. So while they're telling their stories, she thought that everything was all good. Jared checks all the boxes and they've had great sex. But when you're telling me you wrote fuck no on the game card, how you wouldn't want to be with me after we leave, I don't know what to believe. So he tells his sister, I think we had a great conversation. We talked about how I'm not ready to take on having responsibility of 4 kids that is not mine and blah, blah, blah. I don't feel like I need to do that at this point in my life. I'm like, Jared, please. So he tells his sister, I don't know if I can give her a yes or no because I'm not in that space. But I feel like you've already said it more ways than one. Even when she asked you, do you still want to be with her? You told her it varies. It could be maybe, it could be yes, it could be no, it could be a not so sure. You kind of have already given your answer, Jared. I don't know why you still want to convince her that it's a yes, we're going to have this great family when it's a no. Why would you still want to drag her along to make it seem as if you kind of would see a future when you don't see a future? And that's what Charlie is pretty much confused on. That's why she's in the space of believing you guys can make it. You guys can figure it out because you're giving her all these mixed signals. When you're telling me everything's all good, I believe we can make it work. But if you're telling everybody else a different story, then that's where she's stuck looking stupid. Moving on from there. Chris and Alexis go out on a date. He doesn't know where they're going. It's been their second date since their first one when they met on the beach, when they first met one another. And he has to wear athletic gear. He wants to know if Alexis paid attention, and he also knows he did rub Alexis the wrong way with the answer on the game card and how she's controlling. But when she was outside of her little diary cam, she did say, I am assertive, I'm aggressive, but just because I am all those things doesn't mean I can't be feminine. I'm not that hard that I'm not going to notice I can be a bit much. And since she's recognizing these things, hopefully we can move forward and be on the right page. I'm seeing Alexis take more accountability of her faults and her personality than I'm seeing Chris, because Chris has done the most to make her out to be the problem when he's been the problem. So once Jewel and Charlie's best friend meet, Jewel asks Charlie, how does she feel about her brother? She says she loves this man. She wanted to be a part of this experiment just to tell him that. And when they got here, the news of her secret did come out. She knew it was a lot for him to take in. But I have to say that Charlie was afraid of the rejection that she was going to receive from Jared of her being a single woman with multiple kids. And his sister said, listen, it is what it is. You're doing what you got to do. You're taking care of your kids. It does not matter if anybody else has anything to say about it. And she cuts in to tell Jared, no disrespect to you, but I make more money than you. I have been able to take care of myself and my kids very, very well. And Jared had to co-sign because obviously they had a conversation about what their profession is. And he did admit, Charlie does make more money than me. But again, you should have had that energy from the jump. And she knows she should have told him about her kids from the jump. But she was afraid of not being taken seriously, of wanting a real committed relationship because of the 4 kids. I feel like women who have multiple kids are like a repellent to other men because they feel like who wants to have all that responsibility, right? But then I look at it as a double standard when there are men who have multiple kids by multiple women. They be expected for that woman to take on the responsibility of coming into that situation. But it's all about wheeling out the red flags, wheeling out the frogs and the toads before you get to your prince. So when it came down to the comment of him putting fuck no on the note, she asked him originally, didn't you say yes? And he lied to her. After they had just revealed their secrets, they made a promise to not have any more lies between them. So because after that, you've lied to me about how you have not fully moved on after our secrets were revealed, I had no idea you were still feeling that way. Had I knew you were feeling that way, we could have talked about it. So the sisters still want to hold Charlie's feet to the fire about you did drop 3 kids on him. So how did you expect for him to not feel away and not be ready to move forward? She said, I wasn't expecting for him to just let it go and not talk about it. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted him to talk about it. But he also told me everything was good. But then I am asking everybody else, do you think Jared's good? Because I feel like this is a lot for him to take in. I'm not expecting him to just let it go and move forward. I want to have a conversation. And That's all she can go off on him constantly convincing her that everything is all good. Him open up the conversations about having their kids meet up, have this blended family. It's been him constantly playing on that ploy. He wants to move forward with Charlie. He wants to have this big happy family, but then internally he doesn't want it. So the sister said, I hear what you're saying, and I don't like liars as well. I've been heartbroken by liars, but that's still my brother. I'm going to have his back, even though I have to ask, why did you lie? You should not have lied. At first, I wasn't going to agree with the sister because I feel like, is she going to be the type of sister who wouldn't check her brother because he's also at fault too in this case? But you're putting more emphasis on the blame on Charlie, which I can understand, but he also lied too. But I feel like she knows who her brother is. There's not much she can say about it, but she did have a point with addressing him by him lying that he was not cool with the news. He should have just expressed how he felt in that moment. And he admitted it. He shouldn't lie. He should have expressed himself immediately once after the news broke. So they both have said some things. They both have done some things. She thought they could move forward. And she's not sure where Jared's headspace is. And so Jared says they need to have another private conversation about how they're going to move forward. But why? Why do you still need to have another conversation about how y'all going to move forward when you don't want it? There's nothing else to being said. Right here, right now is when you said what you said about how you really don't see yourself being with a woman with multiple kids. Then y'all need to just pack up and go. And I appreciate his sister being honest and understanding by letting her know whoever comes into your life, no, you come with a package deal. You come with 4 kids. If they like it, cool. If they don't, they can kick rocks. Then when the sister was getting ready to leave, she hugged Charlie. She whispered in her ear and says, don't ever think that there's anything wrong with you. You are beautiful inside and out, which is very, very sweet for his sister to say. And I do love the fact this was a very cohesive conversation. We got to understand both sides. There was no judging on one person and absolving the other. This is a very cool, open, calm conversation that I do agree and I do appreciate. We are continuing on with Alexis and Chris's date. It's a nighttime date. He's still wondering where is she taking him, wondering if it's anything that he would like. She said, I've never taken a man out on a date before, so here's to trying new things. So the surprise is taking him to Floyd Mayweather's boxing gym, which is something he loves to do. He's also a huge fan of Floyd Mayweather. He recognized that she has paid attention to everything he's saying, and Alexis thought that Chris will also see more of her strength than him finding it to be a bad thing, especially with the way he was punching the bag and she was holding it. She was holding her own. She wasn't moving by his punches, figuring that he would find her strength something sexy, something to be admired for. But he didn't. All Chris was caring about was him doing something for him, okay? He didn't give no credit to Alexis. He didn't care about Alexis. But the date went well. He was smiling. They exchanged kisses. That's it. That's all. Back at the house, it's dinner time. Everybody's in a good, lighthearted mood. No drama. But we got to ask questions. So it's a question game. We start off with Jay and Cinco. What is good advice on sex? She tells him, don't skip foreplay. Good advice. Charlie and Jared, what is the difference in us? Jared says that Charlie is more mature than him. Brandon asks Kiki, how do you make your partner feel sexy? Kiki said, you got to touch me. Really? Every time he tries to touch you, you walk away. You're saying this is not what you're used to. You don't come from an affectionate family. Sure, fine. The last question was to Britt and Ty. If you haven't had sex, can you be good sexual partners? Britt making it an issue. Britt making it an issue, saying that I don't think this is a good conversation to have with other people. This is between me and him. Girls are part of the game. It's a yes or no question. Why are you getting upset and frustrated by you don't like the rules of the game? You don't believe this is a good question to ask? Girl, it's a yes or no. Do you believe you're compatible as sexual partners? Yes or no? It's not that damn hard. So she went all around the mulberry bush to say, I don't know. Yes. In her confessional, she said no. Then why did you just say no? So Ty answered with a quickness, saying no. Now she's mad all over again. When Alexis and Chris came back from their date, they're all happy. They're all excited. But when they see the energy in the room change, they're wondering, what did we miss? Because Britt's in her feelings. She walks away from the table because she mad about Ty's answer. Ty said, no, I don't think we'll be sexually compatible. But you took so long to answer the question. Why are you getting mad for? So Ty said, I'm noticing a pattern when it comes to Britt. When she doesn't want to be on the spot, she leaves. He goes into the kitchen and asks her what is wrong. She said, you annoyed me. He asked her, how did I annoy you? Because the way you answered the question. You said no. Because I answered it honestly. But I feel away because of how long you took to answer your question. Yeah, but I was trying to spare your feelings. And I don't know why you did not read through them to spare mine. He said, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. How was I supposed to know that? And then she's talking over him and she's not letting him get a word in. He's like, okay, let me know when I can talk. I'm a child. Let me know when I can talk. Which I didn't like though, Ty. That was very condescending of you saying, oh, I'm a little boy. Let me know if I can talk. Don't do that. I know she's a mother, but she's trying to have a conversation with you. Even though she's annoying me, you don't got to add that energy, okay? But Britt, this is the time to explain yourself. You did take forever to answer it. And then you're also mad that everybody followed y'all into the kitchen to watch y'all have this argument. I mean, Britt, you was involved in every other conversation with the other couples. I don't see why you want to have private moments when your problems have been with everybody. You have expressed to everybody of your problem with Ty. So I don't know why you want a private moment now. Get the fuck out of here. So she calls him an asshole, puts her hand in his face, pointing at him and everything. And it's like, y'all can both go home. Okay, Britt, you don't want this man. You don't like this man. Ty, this is not the woman for you. Go find somebody else. I'm not sure if you even want this relationship anyway. Y'all can go home. Okay, y'all both can leave. I don't give a damn. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Sayonara. And that was pretty much the episode. It's like, along with Jared and Charlie's situation, they both can leave. They have nothing else to offer. They're not going to be in a relationship. He doesn't want to be with her because she has 4 kids. As if you think anybody's going to be happy to be with him because he has 2 kids. Like, let's not get it twisted. Jared is also as wrong as Charlie for both hiding children to being a part of this situation, okay? In the upcoming episode, we might even see more of a deal breaker moment between Jay and Cinco because it's going to pertain to her child. And I cannot wait to see how that's going to come about. But y'all, that's it. That's all. I don't have nothing else. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'm seeing you guys later. Bye.